Have you ever felt like your life changed in an instant? I did, after a fall from my shed left me injured, worried, and struggling to manage the simplest tasks at home. Facing a possible craniotomy I couldn't afford, my hope faded fast. From that dark place, a neighbor's kindness sparked a new path for me, Falun Dafa. As I opened my mind and heart to its teachings, I began to sleep again, regain vision, and rediscover calm. This is the story of how an unexpected practice led me toward true healing and a brighter outlook. I hope my journey brings you encouragement, no matter what you face. My cultivation journey began at the close of the autumn harvest in 2012. My husband and I took our corn stalks home and stacked them in the sheep pen to feed the animals during the winter. I was on top of the shed, collecting the stalks as my husband passed them up to me from below. After catching a few bundles, my feet suddenly slipped and I fell into the sheep pen below. I hit my head on the concrete sheep trough and passed out. My husband took me to the hospital, where I received several stitches. After spending some time recuperating, the wounds on my head finally healed. However, my eyesight gradually began to deteriorate. I saw several doctors at the local hospital, but there was no improvement. My vision continued to decline, and I became unable to do household chores, which seriously affected my everyday life. My husband and I were stressed because the doctor had repeatedly warned me to no longer engage in physical labor. But what could we do? How would we live? Our children were no longer at home, and my husband was the only one who could take care of everything. In the past, whether it was household chores or farm work, I was always there to help with whatever needed to be done. My husband rarely did any of the farm work himself. It's safe to say that I was the primary breadwinner in the family, but now my husband had to do all the work inside and outside the house. Seeing my condition getting worse day by day, we were desperate and at a loss for what to do. During this time, my son and daughter came home from time to see how I was doing. They were very worried and advised me to go to a larger hospital, preferably one in Beijing. It so happened that I have a niece who had been working in Beijing for many years. We quickly got in touch with her, and she insisted that I come to Beijing for treatment. A week later, my daughter took time off work to accompany me to Beijing. After consulting with specialists at the hospital, I was diagnosed with vision loss caused by a cerebral hemorrhage compressing the optic nerve. After a period of treatment, my vision improved somewhat. However, after a consultation with the specialist, I was informed that I still needed to have a craniotomy, which would cost tens of thousands of yuan. I was utterly shocked. Given our family's financial situation, how could we possibly afford it? I was already in my 60s. What if I didn't survive the operation? I firmly decided not to have the surgery. I was constantly anxious and just wanted to go home. But my dutiful daughter insisted that I have the surgery, so she called her brother and father to discuss it. In the end, we decided that the two of us would go home first, collect the funds and other necessities, and come back to Beijing for the surgery later. After returning home, I became increasingly reluctant to go back to Beijing. My family didn't have the money, and my children weren't well off financially either. Besides, if I went to Beijing for treatment, my daughter would have to take time off from her job to accompany me. My mind wandered all day and night, worrying so much that I couldn't sleep. I felt so shaky and torn. I suddenly remembered one day that there was a woman named Jing in our village who practiced Falun Gong. A few years ago, she had told me the true facts about Falun Gong and said that sincerely reciting Falun Dafa is good, truthfulness, compassion, forbearance is good, could keep you safe from calamities, cure illnesses, and bring good fortune. I felt at the time that it was something far removed from my life, so I didn't take it seriously. But now, it felt like a window had opened in my heart, and I sensed a glimmer of hope. I thought to myself, I should go and ask this practitioner for a clear explanation about Falun Dafa. Perhaps this could be a way forward for me. That day, I mustered up my courage and went to see Jing. I briefly told her about my ordeal. She calmly said, "Don't worry. From now on, sincerely recite, Falun Dafa is good, truthfulness, compassion, forbearance is good. This is a great vow that saves people. As long as you are sincere, Master Li will take care of you." I readily agreed and said, "Okay, I'll remember." Rattling life of those intrigues and opportunities. It was truly amazing. That night, I slept soundly for the first time in a long while and spent most of the next day reciting, Falun Dafa is good, truthfulness, compassion, forbearance is good. My vision improved some time later, and I was able to see again. I could hardly contain my joy and ran to tell Jing. She was delighted for me and put aside her work so she could tell me more in greater detail. Falun Gong, also known as Falun Dafa, is a superior self-cultivation practice. It teaches practitioners to strictly discipline themselves according to the universal principles of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance, to be the best people they can be, and to ultimately to return to their original nature and achieve enlightenment. I listened attentively and gradually understood more and more about the wonderful practice. The more I listened, the more I loved hearing about Dafa. I developed admiration for Master Li, the founder and teacher of Falun Dafa, as well as all of its practitioners. A desire to practice arose in my heart. Jing told me the truth about the CCP staged Tiananmen self-immolation incident and explained why the Communist Party persecutes Falun Gong. Over the next few evenings, we watched Falun Gong DVDs such as We Tell the Future and Wind and Rain Journey. I later made the greatest decision of my life and told her, I want to practice Falun Gong too. She said, "That's great. I'll teach you." The fact that you actively listen to the truth about Dafa shows that you have a predestined connection with Dafa. "Perhaps Master has taken care of you," I said excitedly. "You're right. Lately, I feel that my eyesight is much clearer than when I returned from Beijing. I also feel that Master is taking care of me." And hours Inga writing, because with the talk of English fee amic, my eyesight later improved by the day, and before I knew it, I was able to do all the household chores. I watched Master's lecture series with Jing, and she taught me the 5 Dafa exercises. Master explained the purpose of human existence, how illness and suffering are karmic retribution for bad deeds, and that the true meaning of cultivation is returning to one's true nature. When I understood the meaning of life, I felt a sense of peace and joy that I had never experienced in my life, and I secretly rejoiced that I, too, have a master. And so I, too, joined the ranks of those practicing Falun Gong. I can't read, so I couldn't study the teachings by reading the Dafa books. Instead, I listened to audio recordings of Master's lectures in my spare time. Following Master's instructions, I strive to uphold the standards of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance in everything I do. When I do things correctly, I feel an extraordinary sense of peace and joy. It turned out that cultivation is so wonderful. I am delighted to have this opportunity to practice Falun Gong. Master has adjusted and purified my body. I am now free of illness and feel light and energized. My eyesight has returned to normal, and I can handle almost all the household chores on my own. Falun Gong has not only healed my eyes, but, more importantly, it has elevated my life to a higher realm. I hope that all those who have a predestined relationship with Dafa will come to understand the truth and be saved. I am so thankful to Master Li for his saving grace. If you'd like to hear more personal journeys or learn about Falun Gong, its guiding principles, or the challenges practitioners face in China, the description contains trustworthy information and helpful links. Please check them out below, and if my story touched you, I'd be grateful if you liked, subscribed, and shared, so others in need of hope may find this message.